It's Christmas morning, and the world outside is a winter wonderland, dressed in a pristine blanket of snow. Inside, the home is alive with the magic of the season. A beautifully decorated tree stands tall in the corner of the living room, its twinkling lights casting a warm glow that dances off the frosted windows. Beneath its branches, gifts sit patiently, each one a promise of joy wrapped in festive paper and adorned with a handwritten tag. In the midst of this idyllic scene, we find Emma. She's been looking forward to this day, her heart filled with anticipation and a spark of hope. She's spent weeks meticulously planning every detail, from the decorations that fill the room with festive cheer to the carefully selected presents nestled under the tree, and most importantly, the surprise gift for her boyfriend Ryan. For her, this Christmas was supposed to be more than just a holiday. It was meant to be the start of a new chapter in their lives. Yet as she sits on the plush couch, cradling a steaming cup of coffee in her hands, she can't shake off the feeling of unease. The silence in the room is heavy, a stark contrast to the festive scene around them. Across the room, Ryan is engrossed in his phone, oblivious to Emma's attempts to catch his attention. He seems distant, detached from the joy of the occasion. The untouched cup of hot cocoa beside him, the unappreciated tree, and his aloof demeanor only amplify Emma's growing sense of dread. With a deep breath, she breaks the silence. Her voice, usually vibrant and full of life, is now soft and hesitant. "Ryan," she begins, "can we talk?" He looks up, his face illuminated by the cold blue light of his phone. His response is nonchalant, his attention elsewhere. The disconnection is palpable. The room, so carefully adorned with holiday cheer, suddenly feels cold and empty. The silence between them was deafening, even amidst the warm glow of the Christmas lights. Breaking the silence, Emma murmurs, "Ryan, can we talk?" Her voice is soft, hesitant, like a whisper of the wind against the stillness of the room. Ryan, engrossed in the cold blue light of his phone, looks up, his expression distant and unreadable. "Sure," he replies, setting his phone aside, yet avoiding her gaze. Emma swallows, a knot forming in her throat. "Is everything okay? You've been different lately." Her words hang in the air, heavy with unspoken questions and fear. Ryan's sigh resonates through the room, carrying the weight of unshared thoughts and feelings. "Emma, I've been meaning to talk to you about this, but I didn't want to ruin Christmas for you." His words are like a chilling breeze seeping through the warmth of the room. Her heart pounding, Emma presses on. "What do you mean?" Ryan's eyes flit towards the tree, the twinkling lights reflecting in his gaze before finally settling on her. "I think we need to end this." His voice is steady, devoid of emotion, as if he's announcing the weather rather than breaking her heart. The words hit her like a sledgehammer, shattering her heart and her hopes for their future. "End this? What are you talking about?" Emma's voice cracks, the pain evident despite her attempts to conceal it. "I'm not happy, Emma," Ryan states, his tone steady but cold. "We've been going through the motions for months now. I think we've both known it, but neither of us wanted to admit it." Emma gasps, her world spinning. "Months? Ryan, I didn't know you felt this way." Ryan nods, his gaze dropping to his hands. "I didn't want to hurt you, especially not today, but I can't keep pretending. It's not fair to either of us." His words were like a sledgehammer, shattering her heart and her hopes for their future. The irony of his timing wasn't lost on her. The day she'd hoped would bring them closer had instead torn them apart. Ryan stands up, his hands deep in his pockets. "I'm sorry, Emma, I really am." His words hang in the air, chilling the room as he moves towards the door. Emma watches him, her heart pounding like a drum in her chest. This isn't how this day was supposed to go. It was meant to be a day of joy, celebration, love. Instead, it's become a day of loss, of endings, of goodbyes. His hand reaches for his coat, hanging on the hook by the door. The same coat he wore when they went ice skating last winter. The same coat he wore when he first told her he loved her. It's strange how the smallest details can hold the biggest memories. Her eyes follow him, tracing the familiar lines of his figure, memorizing him one last time. With one last look, he steps out into the cold, his figure disappearing behind the frosted window. The door closes with a soft click, a final punctuation to their story. The room is suddenly too quiet, the air too still. It's as if the world has stopped spinning, leaving her alone in a frozen moment of time. Emma looks around the room, her gaze landing on the Christmas tree. The twinkling lights seem dimmer now, their warm glow replaced with a cold emptiness. She sees the gift she'd carefully chosen for him, the words "forever yours" engraved on the watch. A promise of forever that's now shattered into a million pieces. She picks it up, holding it in her trembling hands. The weight of it feels unbearable, a physical reminder of the love they once shared. She wonders how something that once brought her so much joy could now bring her so much pain. As the silence stretches on, Emma realizes that goodbyes aren't always loud, filled with tearful farewells and dramatic exits. Sometimes they're quiet, whispered in the stillness of a snowy Christmas morning. They're in the silent tears that fall, the empty spaces left behind, the echoes of words left unsaid. The door closes behind him, leaving Emma alone with her broken heart and the echoes of his final words. The words that mark the end of their story, the beginning of her journey into the unknown. A lonely goodbye on a perfect Christmas morning.